Hello, we are back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Now, as we previously discussed, Cardi B is basically shelved at Titanic Records, and she tried to blame bundles and all this dumbass excuses for the reason why her album ain't out. Now, allegedly, Titanic Records wants to replace Cardi B for she's not making the label any money. So they are looking to push other female rappers, okay? You're going to see in the next 2 years another female rapper similar to Cardi B, probably not exactly the same, but similar. Now, the industry tried to replace Cardi B with Ice Spice. That was a flop only because Ice Spice, unfortunately, ruined her reputation with the fans, you know, obviously going against Nicki, and then on top of that, the Cleopatra situation. So I feel as though, you know, people don't really like Ice Spice as a person, so people are not going to support her music. Unfortunately, personality matters. But with that being said, there's going to be another person coming into the picture for female rap that is going to blow up and take Cardi B's spot. The industry is really pushing for that. Now, not only is the industry kind of turning on Cardi B, but so are her fans. Now, a big Cardi B fan was blocked by Cardi B, and they said, loser B, that's why you will flop so bad. She knows it, and that's why she is sheltered with that album. Go against Caviar gonna cost you, Botchy B. So basically, her own fans are calling her botch and a flop, and they are turning their backs on Cardi B. Now, the fans are also now supporting Pink Friday 2, even though it came out in 2023. But you know they secretly were supporting. That's why I did over 300,000 first week. Billboard took 100K away, but we already know that they were secretly listening. But they said, finally got some new music to listen to. Go buy Pink Friday 2 by Nicki Minaj, the one and only queen of rap. I'm sorry. They done switched up. Botch and Bitter. Wow. They turning back to the queen, where talent reigns supreme, especially in female rap. And unfortunately, the untalented crew is not going to survive. Now, moving on from that, Lizzo is trying to work with the queen. As we know, Lizzo has always bigged up Nicki Minaj in interviews, always spoken highly of Nicki, and recently she dropped her own version of the V0GUE remix. I think Lizzo wants to work with Nicki Minaj because, one, she's flopping. Okay, not saying that she's not a fan of Nicki Minaj, but we got to think logically, okay? All the girls are fans, but not all the girls have worked with Nicki. And most of the girls have shaded Nicki, even when they were fans. So I think Lizzo is a fan of Nicki Minaj. She is under Titanic Records. So I do believe that, you know, she's a fan of Nicki Minaj despite Titanic and Nicki Minaj's issues. But I also feel as though she is flopping right now. She put out 2 singles. Y'all probably don't know them, but she put out 2 singles earlier this year. They both flopped, and it was heavy Disney pop records that she usually do. It's always the Disney pop records. I remember at one moment in time, Lizzo was considered a rapper. I don't know how, considering she barely raps. But there was a time where people were trying to put Lizzo in that rap category when she mostly do pop. Now the pop is flopping. She wants to go back to rap, and she's trying to have Nicki Minaj usher in her new rap persona. That's what it's given, okay? Because allegedly you trying to work with Nicki, you put out this remix, which I think is okay, but I really don't think it was necessary. It's okay. But I feel like Lizzo, to me, will never really be fully considered a rapper, in my opinion. If y'all don't consider Doja Cat a rapper, y'all can't consider Lizzo a rapper at all. Okay? Because Doja will rap and sing. Lizzo would just sing straight up, and it's Disney pop, Nickelodeon music that she be making. No shade. Am I completely against the collaboration? No, I'm not completely against it. I just don't feel like it's necessary. We don't really need it. And I also feel like Lizzo, to me, it seems as though she's thirsty for a hit. She thirsty for it because she's been flopping. About Damn Time came out in 2022. We in 2025. And, she's got that essay case. Let's not forget, we talk about Diddy. She got that essay case people don't really talk about. So with that being said, I just feel like, I don't think Nicki needs to really get attached to a Lizzo. No shade. Not now. When Lizzo was hot, it would make more sense. Lizzo flopping now, and she want to come back around to the queen. Not saying she's not a fan or she don't like Nicki, but the point of the matter is all the girls have liked Nicki at one moment in time. Once they get that collaboration, they go to shading, throwing shots. Okay, now Nicki's bitter, Nicki's this and that. So, I'm not amused with the love before the collaboration. Show the love after it. Okay, show the love when you don't get a collaboration. That usually never happens. Now, moving on to Megan Thee Stallion, Azealia Stanks decides to basically diss Megan. I thought she liked Megan, but she got split personalities. One minute she like a female rapper, next minute she don't. But what has been consistent with Azealia Stanks is that she remains a flop. Okay, she ain't got nothing going on. She can't even release music. And when she do, nobody pays attention to it. But anyway, with that being said, she said, nobody likes Meg. She's not relatable. She's not an icon. She's not talented. She's not a trendsetter. She's a Texas stripper, not an iconic Atlanta stripper with global sex appeal or an iconic NYC bottle girl. Just a regional Texas stripper with a bit of motion in Miami. But not much. She's very P-Valley. She'll never escape it. B likes that though. Rihanna was whipping her ass for so long she's happy Ree is on the sideline. Rihanna returned to the final chapter for Beyonce. Rihanna isn't coming back while Meg is around. So Jay is going to need to find a way to shove her in a jar so she goes away and can't speak on anything. Last thing anyone wants to hear is her talk at all. For any reason, he's got to rid of or her or give her enough to make a way for herself, but snuff her out of the mainstream media consciousness so no one ever hears about it. I know B thinks she's a queen, but no, Rihanna is. Rihanna's exciting to Jay. B is boring and predictable to him. Jay doesn't like Rocky, though. Neither do I. Rocky's a cornball. Beyonce is visibly fizzling out and should put a cap on it and preserve the B-Day legacy rather than keep dropping mid and pulling whack stunts and going out trash. If I were Jay, I have the lawyers suddenly find out Meg lie, throw her under the bus, free Tory Lanez and pay to rehabilitate him, throw Meg in the slammer, that way she can't talk, and have Tory work with Rihanna Records. Tory is a great songwriter. I don't know what Azealia Stanks is talking about. She's all over the place with this. I don't know what Rihanna and Queen Bee have to do with anything. But I will say this. I do think Jay started to really push Megan heavily because Rihanna kind of sat out, on the sidelines. Do I feel like Beyonce is fizzling out? No. She's on a worldwide tour. Visibly fizzling out is what Brandy and Monica are doing, where they got to do joint tours because nobody cares about their music and they're going to perform The Boy Is Mine, which came out 25 years ago. That is fizzling out. Sierra is fizzling out, okay? People that are flopping are fizzling out. You can't say somebody with the number one album, a number one tour, okay, every time they drop, they sell, is fizzling out. I don't know what Azealia Stanks consider fizzling out, but people that are flopping or has-beens, like the Sierras, the Monicas, the Brandys, icons. Well, Sierra's no icon, but Brandy and Monica are. But they can't do what Beyonce is doing. Ashanti is fizzling out. Okay, she's a has-been. Okay, I don't understand how you can say somebody's fizzling out when she had a #1 album last year, and then on top of that, on a #1 tour. I just don't. It just doesn't logically make sense doing a stadium tour, 30 years in a game. How come Brandy and Monica can't do that by themselves? Like, come on now, like, stop. We gotta stop with the Beyonce hate. That's one. Okay, you can say you don't like Beyonce. You can say she's boring because she could be that, but you cannot say she is irrelevant. This is not. That's not how it works. And here's the thing. Rock Nation and Camel Face can't throw Megan under the bus like that. They can't say, oh, we found out she lied. Let's put her in jail, because Megan's just going to turn it on them and say they told me to do it. And that's probably the honest truth. She's going to say Camel Face told me to lie. And I would believe that. Okay? Because Camel Face tried to sign Tory. So that excuse is not going to work. I don't know what Azealia thinks is drinking, but she's on something. She need to put out the liquor and go outside and touch some grass. Because what she said was just a bunch of random bullshit that didn't even make any logical sense. Like, Devil Nation's going to be like, oh yeah, Megan lied after they invested millions of dollars in her. Like, come on now, stop. Now, moving on from that, it looks like Travis is teasing a Dolce collaboration. Let me know if you guys would be here for it. Probably not. Auto-Tune Man and the Industry Plant teaming up? I don't know. I don't know if I really would be here for that. I mean, I'm tired of Auto-Tune Man. I'm tired of Auto-Tune in general. All the rappers that use Auto-Tune, I do not want to see them in 2026. This is one of the reasons why rap is dying. We haven't had a big rap record since Not Like Us. Because all they do is talk about the same thing in records and use Auto-Tune. I blame Young Thug, Gotta Catch a Stray, no shade, Little Baby, Future, okay, and Travis the Festival Killer. Yes, him too. It's like music is dying. We haven't had a hit all year. Where are the hits? Where are the hits? I don't get it. It just don't make sense because they're too busy watering down music. Cardi B ruined female rap, and the auto-tune male rappers ruined male rap, okay? And even with Kung Fu Kenny, he tried to save it, but not everybody could be lyrical like Kung Fu Kenny. Kung Fu Kenny was the moment, okay? Drake he doesn't need auto-tune. Like, he can rap, if somebody write it, but he can rap. But the thing is, a lot of these other artists beside, J. Cole, Kendrick, and Drake, we're not talking about them, but the other rappers, they have to use auto-tune. And they're killing rap in general. Now, the AMAs were yesterday. I didn't watch. But Cowboy Carter won Favorite Country Album. And I believe Queen Bee also took home Favorite Country Artist. Now, moving on from that, Dolce took home Social Song of the Year winner with Anxiety. So congratulations for that. Now, moving on from that, Megan won Favorite Female Hip Hop Artist. Now, I feel like that should have went to Gorilla Glue. Okay. In my opinion, or maybe a Sexy Red. I don't think Megan was the favorite, but it was fan voted. So if you did not vote, you can't really say nothing. No shade. I definitely did not care to vote, and nobody cares about the AMAs. That's why I made no noise. But, I will say that I just feel as though she won by default because the other people didn't really vote. Well, the other fan bases didn't vote for Gorilla Glue and Sexy Red. And that's just probably the honest truth. Now, SZA won Favorite Female R&B Artist, which I highly agree. And I think she won Favorite R&B Song with Saturn. Okay, I didn't agree with that. I don't think Saturn was the favorite R&B song, but like I said, SZA fans, they voted. So with that being said, you can't really get mad at it, but I definitely agree with the favorite female R&B singer, okay? Because she been killing it. SOS came out 3 years ago and she's still dominating. Like, it's crazy. But I low-key feel like R&B is dying, okay? R&B is definitely dying. And there's really, unfortunately, not a lot of pop and R&B artists like that. And then, of course, Not Like Us took home the favorite hip-hop song, okay? Which is obvious. I mean, who else would it be? Okay, this song is probably one of the best songs ever to exist in the 21st century. Okay, let's just be completely honest. Especially if we're talking about this record. So, congratulations to Kung Fu Kenny on that. And then Tyler won favorite Afrobeats artist, which is not shocking because she's the most popular one. But I feel like I don't think she was my favorite. No shade to Tyler. I do like Tyler, but she's the most popular one. Now, moving on to the queen, Onika Tanya Mirage. She is on Vogue Italy, okay? And they said mother, rapper, queen. Of course, a lot of fans are speculating that Nicki is gearing up to droppity drop, okay? And with that being said, I'm here for it. I feel like this would be a perfect time to really come back. We got to make sure that it's right, okay? Now, I love the look she was given for Vogue. The photographer was Petra Collins. She's worked with a lot of big A-list stars in the industry. She worked on Euphoria. She worked with Selena Gomez. She's worked with Olivia Rodrigo. She worked with a lot of different stars in the industry. And with that being said, this is giving me Pink Print. That's what it was giving. It felt like, you know, when Nicki Minaj kind of did that rebrand before the Pink Print era. That's what it was given. It was given, you know, sexy but mature. Okay? You know, not doing too much. And she looks amazing. Like, legitly, she looks fire. Now, with that being said, though, Tate Cobain, Nicki Minaj's artist, posted underneath Nicki Minaj's video she posted on Instagram and said, "Is it time?" with the eye emoji. So it looks like Nicki Minaj is gearing up to drop. I'm here for it. We definitely need a summer anthem. We don't have no summer anthem. The year is almost over. Okay, we about to hit June. So the year is halfway done and we don't got a song of the year or a summer anthem. So I feel like the fans need Nicki Minaj to deliver that for 2025, please. Now, moving on from that, the Country Music Hall of Fame has officially included Queen Bee's Cowboy Carter in its annual State of the Music event, a celebration that highlights the year's most notable moments in country music. The event offers a broad overview of the genre's evolution, spotlighting major artistic achievements, cultural shifts, and standout releases, okay? Well, I'm glad that Queen Bee, is getting the acknowledgement as she should. But also, they're only doing this because she won Album of the Year. Before winning Album of the Year, the country community shunned Queen Bee, was very disrespectful. She won no awards at the Country Music Awards. She won nothing. Okay, and had the biggest album of the year. How is that possible? So with that being said, I feel like they're only doing that because she got recognized at the Grammys. Let's be honest. And she's on a sold out world tour. She just grossed $100 million on 8 shows. So they're seeing the success and now they want to jump on the bandwagon. That's fake. But anyway, I got some very hot tea on Patreon. Link will be in the description. Have a great day.